Hey, welcome to the show. My name is John, and I'm here with Tommy Bowman and Dan Ruda because it is Friday. Why day? What's up?
How's it going? Good to see you.
Ah, what's up there, TB?
What's going on?
The Muzzy's looking good.
Thank you.
She's shaped.
It's Friday. Tommy, what day do you trim that? When do you shape?
I think
Everyone's
it's like
wondering.
every other Saturday, but roughly. I actually don't have a
Nice.
routine for it, believe it or not.
That's roughly the frequency at which I shave, like every other Saturday.
Yeah.
There we go. How you guys doing? Doing all right? Hanging in there? We remember it used to be one day at a time. I think it's now like 1 hour at a time. Is that kind of the
Yeah.
mode?
Feels like it.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and I'm pretty excited that today is episode 39. We're donezo gabunzo after today for season 2.
Will there be a season 3 or a need for season 3?
Very unlikely.
Yeah.
Very unlikely, but we'll see. I mean, we're open. I'm open. I'm always going to do whatever helps our church and the people in our community. So if there is an apparent need, then you probably know what I'll do. But yeah, we'll just kind of wait and see. We'll just wait and
Do
see.
you know what the total episodes would be for season 1 and 2, roughly?
Mm-hmm. So season 1 was 115 shows
Plus 39.
plus 39. It's,
So it's
thankfully, I have my calculator in front of me.
154. 154.
Well, aren't you smart?
No, I used the calculator right in front of me.
Oh, okay. Come on. So there you go. 154. So yeah, I'm excited to get a little break personally. It's gonna be nice. But hey, thank you guys for hanging out on Fridays. And it's been, I think it's just been a little extra that we can do to try to help our people. And right now, we are doing everything possibly that we can do to help lead in a time such as this. And so truly the folks in our church that feel disconnected, I know it's not because we're not trying. So on the contrary, what's been super encouraging is the amount of people that have told us how connected they feel. And they feel like their church has showed up for them in a very difficult year. And that's been our goal since March 9th is that our people will feel like we have showed up. And so that makes me very happy. And what I talked about on Monday is what we're going to talk about today. And I just it feels like the right tone and feel to finish up season 2. 3 words: into the storm.
Hey, that's
Boom.
on your hat.
Boom. You got to admit, that is a good looking lid.
That's good.
It is nice. Well, you have just a great hat head.
Yeah,
it's made for hats.
Mm-hmm.
So.
My daughter Hannah, she's gifted with that too. I don't know if she looks great in hats.
Huh.
It's the round head, I think, is the key. So anyway, into the storm. This is the phrase. Froning Farms. I didn't come up with this, but as you guys know, I'm always on the hunt for a good phrase. Always. And I came across this documentary maybe 3 years ago on Rich Froning, who's known as the fittest man on earth. He won the what's it called? The
CrossFit Games.
Yeah, the CrossFit Games. He won it like 8 years in a row. Craig Rochelle on his leadership podcast had Rich. It was a cool podcast. It'd be cool to see him at the summit one year. Anyway, this guy's a legend, Christian guy, total stud. Anyway, he now runs a bison farm. So you can order like bison jerky and some really healthy things that I know we're into. And this is where I found this phrase. I'm like, oh, that is the phrase. And so what I talked about on Monday is what we're going to talk about today. I'm pretty sure it might be a teaching series in the month of January, but we're going to talk about being a bison. Why? Well, bison don't run from the storm. They instead run into the storm, and they do that with the herd, with others. And so what I did on Monday, guys, is I shared 7 ways for us to be a bison. It is a storm right now, and I think the storm is going to continue for some time. And so we really have the option. Are we going to try to hide and run from it, or are we going to together get through it? And so we've just decided we're going to go into the storm together. So we're going to be a bison. And what I want to talk to you guys about are the 7 things. I said there's 7 ways for you to be a bison: sleep, sweat, circle up, serve, safeguard your mind with truth, sing, and show up tomorrow. So I'd love for us to start by just a time of first getting a little bit of your perspective on Into the Storm, maybe just kind of off the cuff. Well, all of this is off the cuff for you guys, but a little bit of your thoughts on that phrase. And then let's affirm some moments that we've seen our people, the folks of Mission Church, really kind of embody that bison mentality into the storm. So that's what we got.
Yeah. First of all, shout out to Fenton High School. I believe their mascot is the bison. So if
They are the bison.
you're a Bensonvillian who went to Fenton,
That would be do we have any no one comes to mind. I was about to say Big Bill Atwater, but I actually think he went to Fenton.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't know.
But they are the bison. Good call.
Yeah, the bison. Yeah, if you're ever taking the train down to the city, sorry, this is way off course. It just says home of the bison really big.
It does.
Passes Fenton High School. Okay, back to the conversation. I think the first thing that came to mind from your list is, because I'm not with our church when they're sleeping. That would be weird. I don't know how well they've been doing. I just thought about the whole circle up idea. Just the whole like growth track and the way people did it both online and at the building. And I know especially in Alpha in the partner course, like real relationships were made. And I think herd mentality was felt and experienced because people were growing together and not in isolation. And I think that turned people probably more into bison and helped them through the storm. So that's the first thing that came to mind. Is just a huge shout out to the countless people who grew intentionally together in a circle. So
yeah, Dan, you can speak to this. That was both on campus here at the building and online.
Yep.
Amazing ways that folks circled up. I mean, don't misunderstand what we're saying by this statement. It's just like, no, we're going to find a way to go into the storm together. And some of those stories were amazing for sure.
Yeah. Another one, you mentioned the word serve around here. We also talk about volunteering, and I think about seeing here at the building and then a picture online of Janine and Deanna Freeman and Donna Thomas. They were all volunteering together. They were hanging out here, and they're like, look, we're going to show up together. I guess that goes hand in hand with this one, but we're going to show up together, and we're going to kind of be each other's support system as we serve. And then I just think it's been a cool thing, and we've got some ways to go, but we collectively have been stepping up to serve the least of these in our B4 campaign, and just saying, hey, we're going to kind of go all in together with this for one purpose, to be for love. And so just kudos to those of you who have leaned in and given.
Yeah, and I get, when I'm on the schedule, I get the best view from the stage of people singing. And I assume when you have sing on the list, you're talking about worship. And so I don't know what that looks like for people at home. I have seen some pictures of people at watch parties who actually stand and sing, which is cool at the watch party. I think Kathy Resolvos has done that. But yeah, just like even this past weekend when I was up during the 2 songs in particular, one, I think it's called Promises, and then Run to the Father. Gosh, like couple that with the room where baptisms are happening. And then you just see, at least half the room, just arms raised in worship, singing, even through the mask. It sounds good. So that's been super powerful, especially since August 30th, when we reopened the buildings. That comes to mind. Pretty special. Hard not to tear up, man, in moments like that. It's just so moving, especially I've always been that way, but in 2020 to sit to, like, you just feel like you're watching people in the storm, because they are coming together to worship and sing the name of Jesus. It's just so powerful to watch and to sing along with. It's like hard to get through a song.
On the show on Monday, I referenced that line, I'm going to sing in the middle of the storm. That song, Raise a Hallelujah, such a great tune. Yeah. And you're right. That's what worship on, I'm choosing to believe people are worshiping online. Obviously, we're not in their living room, so we don't know. We can't say, oh, that one time. We've seen a couple pictures with watch parties, but we've definitely have felt, seen, heard here at the building, and people are singing in the middle of the storm, and that's one of the ways that, we've seen our folks be bison in a time where it'd be really easy to be something else. Truly, it's been really, really encouraging. Hey, curious, what your guys talk about sleep and sweat, like your resting, replenishment, recovery. That's kind of the whole idea around sleeping. And then the sweating part is all around like working out and pushing yourself physically. Just curious, do you guys, any thoughts you have on that? What you've been doing that's been helpful for you to be a bison? The sweat part, Dan, we'll have Tommy answer.
Yeah. Does eating jerky from Froning Farms count? That's been giving me the meat sweats.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Meat sweats. That's what I meant by it.
That
yep.
counts,
wearing sweats, I think, is what I meant by it.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
I
I can take no credit for sleep because I inherited the Bowman sleep gene, which I don't sleep on planes, but I can sleep anywhere.
You will.
And I'll wake up in the same position I fell asleep in some nights. And
wow.
But I do make a point to get a minimum of 8 hours. I just now I don't sleep 12, but like I usually sleep 8 every night. The good thing for me is Jess goes to bed early because she's got to wake up for the dog. I don't. So I think she probably gets like 5 hours, but I get 8. So
weighted blanket and all, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I just think, I mean, there's tons of studies and books. There's great books right now on sleep, but I mean, if you want to sweat later in the day, if you want to have a good mindset, like so much starts with just like drink water and get 8 hours of sleep, and you're off to a really strong start. But I don't have any tricks other than I just lay down and close my eyes and wake up 8 hours later. So thank you, Dad, for that sleep gene. Dan, what about you in the sleep department?
Yeah, I'm similar in that way. I can sleep just about anywhere, including planes. But what is good is I think there's the tendency right now when we're talking about sleep. John, you've used the language like reload. People are looking for opportunities to rest, and I would encourage you that when it comes to your sleep, allow it be an opportunity not to just veg, but to reload. And so you can have the tendency to just like whether it's Netflix and binge watch, and like that's not the same thing as resting and sleeping. And so whether it's putting the device down and letting yourself unwind away from a screen for a while before you close your eyes, that's absolutely helpful.
Yeah, it's Mark Wittig used a phrase years ago, resting in the right direction. It's a really good phrase, because I think so often when we say the word rest, people go to what actually isn't rest. It's more of escaping or numbing out, and so it's amazing. And we've all done that. And when that is over, when you've watched the entire season of The Office for the 50th time, you actually don't feel better. You have some laughs and that's good, but you don't feel like your batteries are recharged versus understanding how we can rest in the right direction. But let me bounce to another one. Safeguarding your mind with truth, and how easy it's been for folks to spend their waking moments on a news feed. And I think we need to be informed as best we can. It's certainly really hard to know how to be informed. But what I was encouraging our folks with on Monday is to intentionally be in the Word of God. And it's just incredibly important. So we'd love to even have you guys speak to that for just a second, different things that you've learned or are learning when it comes to how you guys are practically safeguarding your mind with truth.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw your list, that was the one that felt and feels like it's been the most critical for me in 2020. Like more than sleep, more than sweats. I mean, of all of them, I feel like I'm missing the term for it. It's not atomic habit, but it's like if I do this one, then I can take care of the rest on your list. And I can I just remember days where I didn't start my day in the Word or listening to something spiritually positive or filled with truth, like my day just didn't go well.
Yep.
And it ended even in an even darker place that I feel like it started with. And so it's been, the morning walks that I started.
Yeah.
I can just tell you the days I do that, my day is so much more fulfilling and positive and filled with joy and hope. And so yeah, I just can't. To repeat what you said too, like guard the first thing that you look at or listen to in the morning, and dear God, don't let it be the news wherever you get your news. Get right into the Word. Play a worship song. I mean, you could set your alarm to make it be a worship song. That could help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think this one's going to continue to be even critical going into 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been. I always do the Bible in 1 Year app. We talk about it a lot in Alpha. It's the Nikki and Pippa Bible in 1 Year app. And today's actually, I was pulling it back up because it speaks to a lot of the stuff about being a bison. It was 8 characteristics of Christian community, and there was the one thing that stood out to me. It goes in, and I think this is so critical for all of us in this season. The last part talks about being a part of a community that knows the shepherd. And it talks about like being attuned to be able to discern and hear the voice and all that stuff. And I think there's so much advantage if we're going to be into the storm as bison, when we're all calibrated on true north and we're circling up, we're able to hear the same messages that God is speaking to us in this season. And we're not inundated with voices all over the place and it just being one of another one. And so there's so much good calibration that comes in community that we can actually know and discern this is the direction we need to go, that the good shepherd's leading us. So Bible in 1 Year app, if you haven't done it, do it. You can even hit it on audio and it'll read for you.
And hey, I want to finish up with the last one.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Which is show up tomorrow. And the idea there is there's been so many hard days and there's going to continue to be so many hard days. And kind of the mind trick that I play on myself is I'll let myself quit. So I'll say, yeah, just go ahead and quit. But tomorrow we're going to sign up again. And so that's just been a really helpful day. Tomorrow, you're going to wake up and you're going to show up. You're going to show up for the people that are in your life. You're going to show up and put your shoulder into the things God's called you to. You're going to show up and you are going to lead into the storm. Not today, not for the rest of today, but tomorrow, so it kind of helps me when I have a rough afternoon or rough night. I kind of like, okay, but tomorrow I'm going to show up. And today is Friday. Obviously, tomorrow is Saturday. Sunday, if there's any day where I want to challenge you to show up for, it's on Sunday. And the three of us, we want to challenge you to show up on Sunday, not only for yourself, but for other people. And we have three options for you. We are one church in 3 venues. I want you to show up on Sunday for yourself and for others online, at the building, or in watch parties. We're not taking our foot off the gas on that at all. So let me just talk to that real quick, and I'd love for you guys to kind of pile on. I have been so encouraged with some of the stories I've heard with this past weekend. A friend of ours that were inspired by Kathy Rosalvo, she did 2 watch parties online this past week. She showed up on Sunday, not only for herself, but for some friends that really needed to be encouraged and to hear from God. We cannot waste this moment. We cannot waste this really difficult, terrible year, moments filled with so much fear and anxiety. We cannot waste it. There are friends of ours, there are people that need the gospel. They need a good shepherd, and they simply do not have one. And so we cannot hide in a hole. We cannot have a pity party and waste this. We gotta show up. We gotta show up. And a number of you have been doing that, and it just encourages me so much. It inspires me, and all of us need to do that. And so the cool thing is you have options, right? You have options. You can do that online. You can do that in watch parties. A lot of folks are still doing that, and you can do that here at the building. Let me just say one thing about the building, and then I'd love for you guys to pile on, which is this. As you guys know, numbers have been spiking. We're keeping a close eye on things. And so it's paramount that if you choose to come to the building, I want you to hear me on this. If you are older, like 65 and older, I want you to gather differently online or in a watch party. I just think that's wise right now. We hit pause in Mission Legacy until after the first of the year. We'll reevaluate. I just think that's wise. We want to be wise right now. 65 and older, I think you need to gather differently online or at a watch party. If you do come to the building, make sure that you feel well, no symptoms, right? You haven't been exposed. Like, let's just be smart about this. Like, just be smart about it. And if you do come to the building, which a number of you have been and will continue to, let's please just mask up. I know you don't like to do it. Neither do I. No one does. All right. But we want to keep gathering differently here at our building in a responsible way. And that only works if you guys are on board with it. And so let's continue to do that. And we're continuing to do the very best we can at Mission. But all that to say, I want to encourage you to show up this Sunday. This is episode 39 of season 2. We're done here in just a minute, but I want you to show up for yourself and for someone else, because there is a storm and people need Jesus in a critical way.
Yeah. It's really good, man. Yeah. The show up tomorrow too. I just, when I, like everybody else, from the start of the day to the end of the day, just a bunch of, if I can say, crap just piles up and discourages. And, one of the last things I pray is just like, hey, God, just give me hope in the morning. If I can start from there, I'll show up. But besides hope, it's like you guys, it's other people. It's, you, John, you, Dan, the rest of our team in our church. I, Tommy, am not enough to inspire me to show up tomorrow. But other people are. And I think that's what causes me and leads me to a place of hope and desire to show up tomorrow, because like you said, people inspire us and we're helping people find and follow Christ. And every day I get the privilege to do that. And so I'm motivated every day, coupled with the Spirit putting hope in me, a renewed hope. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to help people find and follow Christ as best I can. And I think that's what's been cool about Fridays, is celebrating the people who have been doing that in our church. They haven't been isolated. And that doesn't mean they've just come to the building, but they're online at the building in watch parties. They're helping people find and follow Christ. And I think those are the people that exude and embody hope, because they're focusing on other people. And so, yeah, to your point, keep showing up.
Good. And I think one of the most dangerous things when it comes to show up tomorrow is to take a reactive, and I get that it's hard, but a reactive, I'm stuck approach, and not saying I can show up, I can do something tomorrow. There is a proactive plan for me to take ownership of not what I can't control, of certain things that I can control. And I can go, I'm going to show up tomorrow, because we so quickly, faith, physical health, emotional health, all this stuff, the second when we go, I'm a sitting duck, there's literally nothing I can do, world almost seems to unravel faster than it actually is. And so there are so many practical things when it comes to showing up. And the word that just was coming to mind for me too, Tommy, is hope. And we as followers of Jesus are to extend hope in any situation out there. And so to have the mentality of, I will show up tomorrow, it makes all the difference for me.
That's good.
Be a bison, Mission Church. We always have been, and I pray that we always will be, the kind of community that charges into the storm together. There's a lot of storms that we have gone into together, and we're going into this current storm together, and we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. And I already look forward to the day when we're on the other side of this storm and we look back and we learned just how powerful our God has been and was in and throughout that storm. And that we'll just find ourselves more equipped for the storm that'll be after this storm. There is no such thing as life without storms. So we just better get good at being bison. And that's all I have for today. That's episode 39. That is a wrap on season 2. We will see you guys this weekend at one of our 3 venues. We love you. We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.